Hello students, back to class from home. I'm back with chapter 3, two stories about flying from footprints without feet. This chapter has two parts with two different stories. Part 1 is His First Flight by Lionel Flaherty and part 2 is Black Aeroplane by Frederick Forsyth. Let's take part 1, the first flight. There's a saying, the journey of 1,000 miles begins with a single step. That's very true. If we take the first step, then only we can take so many steps. This story is an account of a young seabird that is afraid to fly for the first time. He believes that his wings wouldn't support him. Despite his younger siblings flying fearlessly with much shorter wings, he could not gather the courage to do the same. He was punished to stay hungry if he did not try. Thus, it was his mother that compelled him to fly by using food as a trap. Here, the young seagull was all alone on his ledge. His two brothers and his sister had already flown away the day before. He had been afraid to fly with them. Somehow, when he had taken a little run forward to the brink of the ledge and attempted to flap his wings, he became afraid. The great expanse of sea stretched down beneath, and it was such a long way down, miles down. Look here, students, I have underlined the typical words and I have given the word meaning below in the highlighted box. Seagull is a seabird which lives near the sea. So this young seagull, it was afraid to fly. There was a vast sea in front of it, and looking the beneath of the sea, it was so scared. It always thought, if I fall into the sea and drown, what will happen? So always it was scared of flying. It was afraid of taking his first flight. But his younger brothers and sisters, they knew how to fly. They always flew with their parents, and they were enjoying flying, catching their prey from the sea and enjoying with their parents. And their parents were teaching them how to dive into the deep water and catch fish, and they were enjoying. But this little poor creature, it was all alone on the ledge. It was unable to fly because the scaredness that it has in his heart. He felt certain that his wings would never support him, so he bent his head and ran away back to the little hole under the ledge where he slept at night. Even when each of his brothers and his little sister, whose wings were far shorter than his own, ran to the brink, flapped their wings, and flew away. He failed to muster up courage to take that plunge which appeared to him so desperate. So poor this creature. Always it is to gather the courage to fly, but looking at the vast expanse of the sea, it is to get scared. So whenever it is to come to the corner of the ledge, it is to get scared looking at the bottom of the bottomless sea, and it is to run back to its ledge where it is to sleep the whole night. So it was so scared, it never had that courage. But his younger brothers and sister, who were younger to him, they were very courageous, and they had shorter wings. We have heard, right, the birds, they cut the air with their wings. Okay, the shorter the wings, they cut the air very easily. This young birds, brothers and sister, they had short the wings because they were young. They were younger than this seagull, this little seagull, and they used to boldly fly in the sky, cutting the air, diving in the air, and diving up and down the waves. His father and mother had come around, calling to him shrilly, upbraiding him, threatening to let him starve on his ledge unless he flew away. But for the life of him, he could not move. Parents, they are very caring, right? Everyone's parents are very caring. So here also, the seagull's parents are so caring. They are shouting at us and they are scolding him. Why can't you fly? Come on, you coward, come fly with us, we are there with you. They are supporting him, but he's still scared to fly because he thinks that his wings won't support him to fly, so he is unable to fly. That was 24 hours ago. Since then, nobody had come near him. The day before, all day long, he had watched his parents flying about with his brothers and sister, perfecting them in the art of flight, teaching them how to skim the waves and how to dive for fish. Now, here, it was 24 Hours back, parents were with him, his brothers and sisters were with him. Now they left him there all alone to starve. Now they wanted to teach him a lesson. They want this make an effort, but this poor creature it was afraid, and the birds, his brothers and sisters, they were learning how to skim the waves. He had, in fact, seen his older brother catch his first herring and devour it, standing on a rock, with his parents circled around, raising a proud cackle. And all the morning, the whole family had walked about on the big plateau midway down the opposite cliff, taunting him with his cowardice. Now, as a concerned parents, they wanted their child to make his effort. All the parents are caring, our parents are caring, so whenever they show their concern, it means they want something from us. They want us to show our effort, then only we can come forward in life, right? So these parents whole day they were standing opposite the cliff, and they were shouting at him. They were telling him, give a try, don't lose your heart, we are there to support you. And but this little bird, it was very scared. It was unable to gather the courage to fly because of the vast expanse of the sea. The sun was now ascending the sky, blazing on his leg that faced the south. He felt the heat because he had not eaten since the previous nightfall. He stepped slowly out to the brink of the ledge, and standing on one leg with the other leg hidden under his wings, he closed one eye, then the other, and pretended to be falling asleep. Still they took no notice of him. Poor this birdie started pretending as it is fast asleep, so that it gathers the attention of his parents and brothers and sisters, so that they can bring the fish to him on the ledge and they give him. But they took no notice of him. They wanted this birdie to make his effort to fly himself and to catch his own prey. But this little poor creature, he started pretending that it is sleeping. So what he did, the parents, they never bothered him, and they was sitting on the opposite cliff, and they were having their fish. They were enjoying their meal. He saw his two brothers and his sister lying on the plateau, dozing with their heads sunk into their necks. His father was preening the feathers on his white back. Only his mother was looking at him. She was standing on a little high hump on the plateau, her white breast thrust forward. Now and again she tore at a piece of fish and lay at her feet, and then scraped each side of her beak on the rock. The sight of the food maddened him. How he loved to tear food that way, scraping his beak now and again to wet it. Now his parents are sitting on the opposite cliff. His brothers and sisters are sleeping there, putting their head under the feathers, and they are sleeping, they are dozing, they are enjoying there. And father, he's preening, he's cleaning his feathers, and mother, she's going on noticing her child, because she's a concerned mother. Mothers are always caring, right? So she was feeling very bad for her child, that he's unable to fly. Actually, he's able to fly. The thing is, he doesn't have the courage. He's scared of flying. So the mother was noticing from far how her child was suffering. Ga ga ga, he cried, begging her to bring him some food. She screamed back derisively, but he kept calling plaintively, and after a minute or so, he uttered a joyful scream. His mother had picked up a piece of the fish and was flying across to him with it. Now, this poor child, he saw his mother was having a fish in her beak. She wanted that fish to be given to her child, but she wanted the child to make an effort just to flap its wing. But this poor creature, it is crying, it is telling, Mother, please come to me and give that food to me. He can't say, but he's screaming, right? We people, we can say, but the birds were, they can talk, but the birds still understand their own language and gestures. So here the baby is crying. It's saying, please give up the fish to me. And he makes an effort to fly, but he's unable. He's scared where he will fall into the water and drown. He leaned out eagerly, tapping with rock with his feet, trying to get nearer to her as she flew across. But when she was just opposite to him, she halted her wings, motionless, the piece of fish in her beak almost within reach of his beak. He waited a moment in surprise, wondering why she did not come nearer, and then, maddened by hunger, he dived at the fish. Now, mother, she was having a fish in her beak. She was tempting the child to catch the fish so that if he try to catch the fish, he can flap his wings. So he was surprised why his mother is not coming near him, and his hunger, he was hungry from past 2 days. So this maddened him to fly. With a loud scream, he fell outwards and downwards into space. Then a monstrous terror seized him and his heart stood still. He could hear nothing, but it only lasted a minute. The next moment, he felt his wings spread outwards. The wind rushed against his breast and feathers, then under his stomach and against his wings. He could feel the tips of his wings cutting through the air. Now the mother made her all effort to make her child fly, to cast away the fear within the child. Now with a loud scream, the mother, she was flying here and there near the child's cliff. So the hunger maddened him. He wanted food very desperately. So he made an effort. When he made an effort, his wings supported him. But he was so surprised how it happened. He cut the air. Now he gave an effort. Now he could fly in the air. He was scared looking below, but he could fly. He was not falling headlong now. He was soaring gradually downwards and outwards. He was no longer afraid. He just felt a bit dizzy. Then he flapped his wings once and he soared upwards. Ga ga ga, his mother swooped past him, her wings making a loud noise. He answered her with another scream. Then his father flew over him screaming. He saw his two brothers and sister flying around him, curveting and banking and soaring and diving. Finally, the birdie could make his first flight. He saw that his wings supported. He started diving up and down. He was scared also, but still he gave that effort, and finally he succeeded. His mother was happy, his father was happy, his brother and sisters were happy. He was flying, and all the four of them, they were circling him and flying together. Even they were happy. They praised him for his effort, and finally the birdie could make his first flight. Then he completely forgot that he had not always been able to fly, and commended himself to dive and soar and curve, shrieking shrilly. He was near the sea now, flying straight over it, facing straight out over the ocean. He saw a vast green sea beneath him, with little ridges moving over it, and he turned his beak sideways and cawed amusedly. And his joy had no limit. He was so happy that finally he could make it. He flew. He was so happy. His breast touching the air, his wings cutting the winds, and he could see the vast sea below him. And he was so happy. He was turning his beak sidewards, this way, that way, and he was giving that shrieking voice. It was so happy. It was enjoying, and it was celebrating its victory with his parents and with his brothers. Now he felt proud that he was able to fly. His parents and his brothers and sister had landed landed on this green flooring ahead of him. They were beckoning to him, calling shrilly. He drummed his leg to stand on the green sea. His legs sank into it. He screamed with fright and attempted to rise again, flapping his wings. But he was tired and weak with hunger, and he could not rise, exhausted by the strange exercise. His feet sank into the green sea, and then his belly touched it, and he sank no farther. He was floating on it, and around him his family was screaming, praising him, and their beaks were offering him scraps of dogfish. Dogfish is a kind of fish. So now he was able to fly in the sky. He was enjoying his flight with his parents. His parents were happy. His brothers and sisters were happy. And they were feeding him dogfish because he was hungry from so many days. This is the reward they were giving to him, and they were finally able to fly high in the sky. So here, students, the lesson reflects how one hesitates to take the first step, and that fear is all in mind. One should trust one's abilities because the fear of suffering is worse than the suffering itself. Thank you.